Hey Barstool Sports, want to thank you for everything you've done for the community and everything for the hospitality industry. It's really great that you guys are reaching out and doing this. So here's our story. Rooster's Kitchen was started in 2016 with a dream that I had. I'm a lifelong industry guy and really care about the hospitality industry and the restaurant industry. I've been in it since I was a kid, and here I am. I'm on my own, started my own business. I've got a great group of employees and a great team that's keeping us rolling. We've been going since 2016, and coming into 2019, we had probably the biggest year yet. We were about to be really turning the corner, really doing some great things. But as 2020 hit, so did COVID. That first week, we thought that was it. That was the end of the dream. We really tried our best to do everything we could. We liquidated all perishable inventory, and we really tried to rethink what we were doing. But we couldn't let the restaurant die that easy. The first thing we did was we thought, groceries. This is what people are going to need. The grocery stores were overwhelmed. Our neighborhood, our community, those that we relied on, were now in trouble. And so we started selling eggs, meat, milk, bread, anything we could to help fit that need. And as we were developing that, we were actually contacted by the IMPD, the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police. And they told us that their first responders were, unfortunately, at an even greater disadvantage, because due to their long hours and their restrictive schedules, they were getting to those grocery stores after the mobs had already been there and cleared them out. So the first step that we did, and would be the first pivot that we made, was to that grocery model, but it was mainly focused on first responders. And for the first couple weeks, we were doing great. We were keeping payroll rolling, we were keeping employees paid, and we were keeping our doors open. And we were doing that by supplying a service to our first responders and our frontline workers. And it was really great to see. Now, as that continued, the grocery stores caught back up, and that need kind of fell off. So we started converting and pivoting again into prepared meals, started selling some of the favorites that the restaurant had served pre-COVID, but it really wasn't turning out to be enough to keep things going. And we got our PPP, we got our EIDL, but those were all running out pretty quickly. We were approached by a local food pantry, actually a local mission, Wheeler Mission, that they were completely overrun. They were seeing numbers they've never seen before, and they were feeding thousands of people a day. Now, the unfortunate part about that, outside of the great need that they were fulfilling, was that the health and safety concerns were cutting back on the amount of volunteers they had. And so they were having trouble actually keeping up with enough staff to feed those thousands of people, which is where we created another program and did our next pivot. We created what we called the Feed It Forward program. And through that program, we allowed private and corporate donors to donate to the mission, and the mission would then contract through us to prepare the meals for the homeless community and the hungry community. And it really served a couple purposes. Obviously, feeding the community, that was the main goal. But the really great part about that was the donations would also cover our payroll. And so during that time period, we were feeding thousands of people a week, and we were putting out thousands of meals. And we were actually able to pay people, in some cases overtime during those time periods, and actually hired people during that to keep our staff going and keep people employed. And that was great. That was outstanding. It was very fulfilling. We were recognized for it. All that was great. As time goes on, donations start to slim. People have less disposable income, and that program kind of fell to the wayside. And so here we are now. We reopened. We are doing in-person dining, but as the weather gets worse, we're in Indianapolis, the weather is turned, we're in winter, we don't have outdoor dining, we don't have walking traffic, we don't have those things. We're watching our sales dwindle and dwindle significantly. We've done everything we can to avoid any real layoffs. We're keeping people paid at a loss. We're keeping the doors open at a loss. And that money that was originally provided from the government is starting to run out. And so we're at a crossroads. We're trying to figure out what our next step is and what our next pivot is. Now, we're a creative bunch, we're a resilient bunch, but that resilience and that creativity takes money, it takes time, it takes effort. All things that are starting to come to a close, come to an end. We don't have unlimited time because we don't have unlimited funds. Eventually the money's gonna run out, the time's gonna run out, and frankly, we're all getting tired. We're all at our end. We've pivoted and changed so many times, and every time we've done it with an even smaller and smaller staff. So any help that we can get right now is going to go towards payroll. Payroll is my biggest thing. We are a community-focused company. We're a community-focused restaurant, and the true goal is to ensure that our community has jobs and has paychecks in their pockets. And so we're looking for help from you for our payroll, for our employees, for our guests, for everybody here to keep those dollars moving through our industry. And so we're going to keep going. We're going to keep moving forward and keep pivoting. But for how long is questionable. And so anything that you can do to help us would be greatly appreciated and will help keep my team, my dedicated team, employed through the end of this and through hopefully a more prosperous time where we can get back to the norm and get back to where we were before. So I thank you for your consideration. I appreciate everything that you've done and look forward to speaking to you all. Thank you.